Welcome to Smart Health Talk with your host, Elaine McFadden.
Take a walk on the wild side. Will the birds and the bees survive? Right before me, my newfound hippie side. Once ignored these conspiracies online. Out the window, visions of the earth. Sign me up now, make sure you use your smart. Take a walk on the wild side. Will the birds and the bees survive? Would your children lie to see Mother Nature sigh?
Welcome to Smart Health Talk with your host, Elaine McFadden.
Welcome, everyone. It's Smart Health Talk Radio Show. And hey, that smart part that I just said, that's going to be a big part of our show today because, number one, we want you to be smart shoppers. Yeah. And why do you think that is? Because, well, I mean, it's powerful. You know, your dollars, and when you go to the grocery store, the decisions that you make there, that is a big influence on your life and the life of everyone else in your family if you're the shopper. I think we find that most families have kind of a dominant shopper. Okay, we got Brandon over there saying, hey, you know, I know what you're talking about, Elaine. I've lived it. I've been there.
That's me.
Okay, so you're the person that likes to go to the store.
Yeah, mostly because I'm the most picky out of everyone in my family. So it's easiest for me to go and get everything.
Hey, good strategy for those that, you know, that are picky, you know, to say, hey, let me take care of it.
Yeah.
And do you think that your pickiness is actually a positive for other people in the family?
I think so, because I'm a vegetarian, which means I'm buying way more vegetables than the rest of my family. And I think that by proxy that gets them to eat more vegetables. So I would like to think so.
Well, when you look, everyone, Brandon is in our engineering booth, and I'm out here in the studio, and Brandon is facing me because he's right there to help when we need it. And so when you're looking out here and you're looking at what I got here in front of me, Brandon, in the studio, which, by the way, you could be tuning in live, watching us right here and seeing all this wonderfulness around me, deliciousness, and organicness around me, because these products are all organic. And we got like so many people that say, I can't afford organic. I know organic's better. And you know what? When they poll people, Brandon, a lot of people, when they ask them what they think about organic, they think that it's better, that it's, you know, has less pesticides, and that the quality is better. But for some reason, they don't seem to think that they can have that. And that's what I want to make go bye-bye. I want to erase that from all our listeners' brains out there, because I want you to say after me. Okay, Brandon, see if you can help me out on this.
All right.
My body does deserve the best food.
The best food.
And the best food is organic.
Is organic.
Thank you. Well, actually, the very, very best is biodynamic, but we won't get picky. That's actually better than organic. I mean, when you talk picky, Brandon, like you're picky, they're picky farmers, okay?
See, I'm not quite that picky. I think you're a little bit more picky than me, but I'm the most picky of my family.
Mm-hmm. Right. No, I get it. And, you know, that was like something I want. Oh, I didn't lug along. I have so many things here, everyone. I mean, to get this stuff in here, I was like, unfortunately, I didn't bring the other thing I wanted to bring. I'm going to have to make a little video of it is what I'm going to have to do. But I went shopping at the farmer's market, and I love what you said, Brandon, about that you buy the most vegetables of anyone.
Yeah.
And
by a lot.
Yeah. Okay, now, you know I'm a dietitian. I'm about saving lives with good food. And can't do that with poison food, everyone. I'm sorry. I just can't. And I'm not saying this. This is top scientists in the country that say that. So I'm just repeating what they say. But because of what they say, I know that I can't heal your body and poison it at the same time. So, okay. So the best food is organic. And people think that they can't have it. But I want to show you that, yes, you can. You can have the best. And okay, I kind of got a little bit into what's that, like Taking Back My Body or something like that by Khloe Kardashian, Revenge Body.
Oh, okay. You had the new workout.
Yeah, the workout. Yeah, and you know, I do agree with a lot of what they say. I don't know if I necessarily totally agree. I guess it's because even as a dietitian, I'm just a total rebel. And I found out, because I'm like part Choctaw Indian, and I found out Choctaw actually means rebel. I just learned that this week. I'm like, I'm always calling myself a rebel. Now it all makes sense. It's like, Choctaw rebel, yeah. It's like, no, you're not going to put me on this like strict diet, because I am just very much of an impulse eater. And that's because I like to listen to my body. You know, I can't force myself to eat when I'm not hungry. And I think that's actually one of the key parts of losing weight, is learning to listen to your body. And if it's not hungry, why are you going to force calories when you're trying to like get your calories down? Which is, I believe in calories in, calories out, no matter what time of the day you eat them. And so I try to get my calories down, because if I want to lose weight, which been pretty successful, got, down like 30 pounds, so still more to go, and that was with just regular like work in the backyard, digging holes, lifting things, carrying it around, that kind of stuff, because I did have a problem in my knee, and people get these injuries and then they just keep forcing themselves to exercise when they have an injury, and they don't realize that can lead to a worse and worse injury. And that just happened to someone. Oh, that's right. That happened to, it was Tom Petty that just passed away, right?
Yeah, he did. I don't know why he passed away. Do you have information on that?
Yeah, I guess that he had had an injury in his hip. See, and this is a really dangerous thing, because when you get to be a certain age, if you break your hip, especially like, 75, 80, you break your hip, it's almost like the kiss of death. I'm sorry to say that, but people have to be aware. They have to know the truth. And so that is why you have to be really, as you get older, you just have to start moving slower, because if you break that hip, the chances of you dying are like 85%.
Why is that?
Because You can't, your whole mobility has changed, and it really takes a lot out of you. And to recover from a hip injury takes a lot of strength to repair. That's like a major bone, right? And so, you know, to have the strength and the energy to repair that, for your body to do that and get back to a strong state, that's very difficult to do. But what we can do is we can try to eat healthy now. We can avoid pesticides because those are getting into our bones. Dr. Seneff warned us that glyphosate, Roundup, which people have been eating every single day. If you're not eating organic, you're eating Roundup or some other horrible pesticide. So she said it's accumulating in our bone marrow. That's where we make all our new cells. That is extremely dangerous. So we need to teach people. And I'm going to teach you, especially if you want to tune in, KCAAradio.com. You can be watching us right here in the studio if they go there, right, Brandon?
They can, yeah.
Okay, so right to KCAAradio.com, and you can be watching us here. I got all these products right here I'm going to be going over. I'm going to give you some hints on voting with your dollars, making the right choices. We need to think about the companies we want to support, because when we buy products, very powerful. Food is huge. We buy it all the time. We need it every day. A lot of money goes into food, and it changes our world. It's changed our world. With using all these pesticides is one of the main reasons we have climate change right now. And it's also one of the most important things that we can do to reverse climate change. You want to make a difference? You want to do something that's going to make the world a better place? Start with choosing organic food. And you'll find when you keep it simple. Like, I love what Brandon said, you know, he mostly buys vegetables. And why do you think that makes me so happy, Brandon? Knowing I'm a dietitian, and I know we can heal with food.
Nutritionally dense.
Yes. Yes, he said it. That is a perfect answer. Nutritionally dense. And also, the next thing after that, low in calories.
Hey, Elaine, I just wanted to let you know before you moved on, Christine is on the phone for you.
Oh, okay. Well, if she wants, she can join us on the conversation. Was going to get to the food now, but go ahead. Is she there?
Yeah.
Hey, Christine.
Hi.
Hey. I'm getting ready to teach people how to shop organic food. I was just talking about, you know, Brandon, our engineer here, is a picky eater because he likes to choose lots of vegetables, for one thing. And I don't consider that a picky eater. I consider that a very smart eater, a very intelligent eater, because those are the foods that, as Brandon mentioned, very nutrient dense. And
I would fully agree with that.
And low in calories.
Make 80% of your diet plant-based.
Yes, and it makes the world a better place. And I said, if people want to use their dollars, so many people, they say, gosh, I wish I could do something, you know? I wish I could make the world a better place. And they don't realize that every time they spend $1 and they choose to support a certain company, a certain type of product that was made a certain way, using different types of farming, different types of production, different types of packaging, all different, all these different things go into it, chemicals added, whether it's organic or not organic. All these things play a role into that product and the quality of that product and whether it can be more beneficial than harmful. And I consider so many different products now actually more harmful. You know? Yeah. It's like, okay, you're not hungry for a few minutes, but what did you just do? You know, you ate that whole bag of hot Cheetos. Oh, no. You know, and then you're just like, okay, what did you just do? Let's go over it. Oh, my gosh, that was like 1,000 calories. Oh, and, you know, it was like full of trans fats. multiple GMOs, because we know from Consumer Reports. And I never really thought about that, Christine. And everyone, this is Christine Lampe, and she is our go-to master gardener, expert in growing all different kinds of things, what to do, what not to do, when to plant.
Edible things.
Yeah, exactly. Edible things.
I don't know much about ornamentals and orchids.
Oh, okay. Well, that's okay, because we're talking food today, and I got a bunch of, and maybe some of these, because I know you like to choose organic food for your household.
It's not like to choose. It's like you have to choose.
Yes.
I want to stay healthy. If I don't want to feel my joints get sore, if I eat food that's not organic, if I eat out somewhere or give in to some fast food because I'm rushing around and I don't have time and I didn't pack some food with me, I feel it the next day. And I can feel all my joints get sore and swollen, and I don't sleep well.
And that sleeping, I mean, I used to be real bad. I was trying to fit too much into one day, and I wasn't sleeping long enough, but I've really been making the effort. And
I have too.
And
I'm
to
get at least 8 hours.
Well, I just feel myself getting progressively stronger. That together with, this one BioK, which I highly recommend because it's like 50 billion. And it's the kind of, they can say probiotics, but I mean, whether or not that's a live active bacteria, whether the strain of that bacteria is the kind that is really beneficial for your gut, I mean, these things could be a crapshoot. We really, I don't know, I'd have to do whatever kind of look into the published research on every bacterium. Many of these are designer strains. Like, for example, I think it was Tropicana. They just came out with, their juice has probiotics in it. It's like, first of all, I think that's not natural. In real life, oranges do not contain probiotics. So
that was my first thought. I'm like, wait, why the hell is there probiotics in orange juice?
It's now a bandwagon marketing term.
Yeah, and it's a very acidic product. And yes, yogurt in that can be acidic, but to me, citrus is a different kind of acidic than you'd get from like a lactose.
Right.
And all the acid that you would get from dairy. So to me, that's a more favorable. And the BioK shots are in like plain yogurt, or you can also, for vegans, you can choose a rice-based shot. It's like a shot that it looks like a plain yogurt, but there's 50 billion active bacteria, and even at the very at the expiration date, they still test for the full load of 50 billion. And that's something a lot of people don't think about, that as you get closer to the expiration date, these probiotics are losing how many they're dying off, so there's not as many in the end. And I just I feel very, very strongly about that because it's very easy to do as well. But probiotics are definitely a big part in overall health. But vegan is really becoming a big choice, or just vegetarian, and we're learning more and more by the studies that are coming out on just how important that is. Is that something that you hear back? You're hearing more interest? Because everyone, Christine does talks all around the community from all different kinds of groups, and they're all interested in learning. Right? Number one, they're interested in learning. And what are you feeling that?
Well, they're often interested in learning how to grow their own food.
Mm-hmm.
That's usually what I talk about, and talk about how to grow food organically. So most people, when I ask them why they want to grow their own food, they will say they realize that it'll be riper than what you buy at the store. It'll, fresher. It'll be picked at its nutritional peak rather than a couple of weeks early and then gassed to turn ripe. that they control more what goes into the food, so pesticide use and GMO use, they have control over that. They also will say that it's fun. It saves them money. For a packet of tomato seeds, you get, pounds and pounds of tomatoes. So, and it's something to do at home with the kids. It gets the kids involved. It gets the kids, engaged with their food. If they help grow it, they're more likely to eat it.
I totally agree. And then they really get this vision in their head of where their food comes from, how it grows, how it forms, when you know it's ripe, and then you pick it, and then you eat it, and then there's different ways we can cook it. And this whole thing along, even if you just took one green bean, if the kids, beans, which are a really easy thing to grow, right? So,
yes.
Yeah, and you get like lots of beans that you can pick, and you can eat them raw, or you can cook them different ways. And
my favorite is snow peas.
Oh, yeah.
And right now, this is the time of year to grow snow peas. They're expensive at the store.
Oh, heck yeah.
And they are so easy to grow, just like beans. They're to start them in the early fall, or even now is still plenty of time to grow them. My grandkids were over here Sunday. They love to pick the snow peas right out of the garden. So, first of all, teaching them, wait till the peas at least as big as their finger. But we're not, we need to pick it while it's still flat and not growing pea pods inside of it. So they learn how to pick them right.
And are they picking and eating, or is it?
They're grazing. Yes, they are grazing out in the garden.
I know.
None of them made it into the house. No.
And I've always, I used to sell organic produce 40 years ago in San Diego, and at that time, I really started kind of getting into, I was, this is back in the hippie days, and I was getting into deep thought about, this food, because I was going up and getting it right from the farms, right from the farmers, and just meeting these people. I mean, even when you looked at them, they just seemed to have this glow about them. They look so healthy. And then
I love going to farms. Yeah.
Yes. And then their produce looked so healthy. That seemed to glow, and it was so fresh and unadulterated, ungassed, chemical.
Sometimes it may be a little munched on, but that means if a bug was eating it, it was good for you too.
Well, yeah, like the corn.
It hasn't been sprayed with a pesticide.
I would sell corn, and if you opened it up, and there'd be like a little tiny worm at the top of it, people would
the rest of the corn is good. Just cut that part off.
Exactly. It's like big deal. There's a little bug right there. I mean, it doesn't eat that much, and
people get this growth factor, they go ooh, and they it's like they haven't learned grown up with worms anymore. They have their food so sanitized.
Yes, exactly. Guy, you have it exactly right. That's just how I feel. It's like, gosh, you see a worm and you freak out. You know what that's a sign to me? That pesticide wasn't used, and that means there's not poison on there, because otherwise the worm wouldn't be there. So to me, I'm happy to see the worm. I'm like, that's a sign that maybe
exactly. But most people nowadays would not agree. We have to re-educate them.
And in an apple, or something like that, you just cut that section out, and you can still eat the rest of the apple. And
actually, I have 5 apple trees here in my little city lot, and tons of apples. And I think I found one worm in one apple. I have Fuji, Gala, Williams Pride, and a couple other varieties. And this summer I found one worm. Oh, that's what an apple worm looks like,
Hi, little worm,
I more am dealing with the birds picking, starting to pick at the apples.
Well, I love the cartoon versions of the little worm, or the
bookworm.
Out
of the apple.
Yeah, the little apple worm in the cartoon. They're so cute. And they really are cute. Just like our little monarch caterpillars are adorable. Aren't they adorable?
Yeah.
And, Christine, I can't thank Christine enough, because she's the one that, brought me my first couple of caterpillars that like exploded. I had a population explosion. And
It
then,
inoculated you.
yes. But it's been quite a week because we found multiple caterpillars, and I went to look at this one pot that had milkweed in it, and there were like 2 giant ones in there. I was like, oh my gosh, where did you guys come from?
I run into that all the time. It's like I've been out here looking, and where'd you guys hide?
I know. Where do they hide? Because you look, and then you come back, and you're like, where were you? Or else they're just like gigantic, and you're like, I looked here every single day. Where were you? Okay. It's like, you are like a good hider. Yeah, I'm very excited to find some. We're hoping that this is a good start and that they're going to be healthy. And I was mentioning I released one this week, and it was like so anxious to get out. I had it in kind of just quarantine for just a little bit and to make sure it was fine. And boy, that little sucker weaseled its way out of there somehow. And it was like, hey, just let me out of here, man. I'm ready to fly. I'm ready to take to the sky.
We had two emerge while the grandkids were here on Sunday, and it was actually the very first time I'd seen them come out in person. Because they're always managing to do it when I'm not looking. But finally, I just turned around and I said, "Oh, kids, quick, come on here, look!"
Oh, nice.
So they actually, and later that afternoon, they got to help hold and release the butterfly after it had hardened and dried its wings.
Oh, so is that? I mean, what was their reaction?
Oh, they have done it before. In fact, I have taken Chrysalises to their house to try to so they could watch it. But it's still always exciting. So yeah, their grandma raises butterflies.
As soon as I find one caterpillar, it's like I just struck gold or something. I just find a cat. I never lose the enthusiasm. Every time I find a new caterpillar, I'm just as excited because everyone is just as special as the last one. But I was so sad to hear, Christine, that the numbers for California. Did you see that article?
Yes, I was passing it around.
Can you summarize that for everyone?
It was an article from the Xerxes group that they do a butterfly count every Thanksgiving. Well, starting Thanksgiving and I think the following 2 weekends. And they said this year they actually even visited more overwintering sites. The butterflies go in our California, our butterflies west of the Rockies go to the California coast. They're not the ones that go all the way down to Mexico. That's the East Coast butterflies, monarchs. But our West Coast monarchs go to the California coast to hang out with the surfer dudes. I don't know. To me, they seem smarter than making that 3,000-mile journey. But they visited more sites than they have done in the last few years. So the last 5 years, the numbers were actually growing each year. But this year, the numbers were down. I think it was 200,000 is all they found. So it was like 80% of what they had last year. But they think it might be partly due to the fires and the mudslides in Montecito, because that area is where they have a lot of overwintering colonies along Santa Barbara and Montecito. But, and in a lot of the areas where we had fires, those are, butterfly habitat.
Well, that's why what we're doing here, we release.
Like I just called up the article. They counted less than 200,000 monarchs this year.
Well, that's why I think what we're trying to do, plant as much milkweed as we can, and that's why we're going to start having our plant sales on March 24th.
See, last year they had 300,000. The last 2 years were 300,000, and 2014 was over 200,000, and then about 2013 the numbers were about the same as this year. So they've been slowly rising. But back in 1997 they had 1,200,000. So a lot more.
Yeah. So we know. Well, I've talked to so many people from the Inland Empire and the Redlands, Loma Linda area that say that they used to just be, like blankets of them, and they'd cover cars, and you'd see them everywhere. And so we know that there's something off.
Well, I also know I grew up in Riverside, between Riverside and Orange County during my childhood. But I remember seeing the monarchs, but also the mourning cloaks. They're the kind of brownish blackish, with a creamy edge to their wings, with a little blue dot on them. And they're actually a very common butterfly, and they live the longest. They live about 11 to 12 months long, so often their wings are very ragged because they've lived so long. I used to see those all over the place here, and I would see their caterpillars. They're the little woolly bear caterpillars, fuzzy caterpillars.
Oh, I remember those.
And I haven't seen any of the caterpillars. They do grow on elms and willows, so I personally don't have any of those trees, but in parks around here and stuff, as a kid, I remember seeing them every time I go to a park. And I don't hardly see. I think I saw one of those butterflies last year.
The parks are some of the worst for spraying pesticides now.
Yeah.
And actually, I talked to a neighbor that we have a dog park, and they said, Elaine, I went down there, and the grass was a weird color. And I can't remember. I have to go back and do my look at my notes. But I found a pesticide, and in the description, it actually says that it will turn grass a different, this other color. And I'm just like, oh my God, and that whole flashback on, because I kept trying to solve that in my head. What the heck were they spraying over there? And, then our dogs are walking on this highly toxic pesticide. And this was...
Well, is it actually making the grass turn a color, or the spray itself is kind of this turquoise greenish color? I see a lot of times that they use it.
Yeah, I think that it does turn the grass, but I will get back. I need to learn more about it. It was just I was kind of reading through and I went, okay, this sounds exactly like what they were talking about happened at the dog park. So it sounded, and I've read about a lot of other pesticides and none of them had said that. And this was like a turf type product. It was approved for using on turfs, but which, I just please, everyone out there, if you're using pesticides, if you're using like the weed and feeds, please don't use them. And we have great resources. Richard Fagerlin, the bug man, he's always got great things. We've got, Christine Lampy here. And why don't you tell them some of the Facebook pages, and then we've got 20 minutes, and if you can stick with me, I'm going to go through these products really, really fast. And if you...
Which Facebook pages do you want me to tell them?
Well, which ones that you recommend that they come, like the Inland Empire?
For the non-toxic and
yeah,
stuff?
the non-toxic Inland Empire. That's a good one.
Yeah, we have one, non-toxic Inland Empire.
And our BlueMonarchProject.com, everyone. Please go and find us on Facebook and go to our website and see.
And if they're not in the Inland Empire, there's actually, if they do non-toxic, there's probably a group in their area, because I know there's a non-toxic Orange County, non-toxic Irvine, non-toxic San Diego, San Clemente. So if they're not right in the Inland Empire, there might be one. There's non-toxic communities is kind of an umbrella group that heads this up, as well as Moms Across America. Have groups everywhere, and many of those are, we're not excluding the dads or even non-parents, but, it is a lot of the moms who have kids. They were concerned about kids in the school grounds, as we were just talking about, the grass is sprayed, and the kids getting that as they,
on our BlueMonarchProject.com website, under problems, local pesticide use, for those of you here in Loma Linda and Redlands area, please go and look at that. I have lists of pesticides that are being used at the Loma Linda Academy, at the medical center, and then I'm putting fact sheets up. But we also just started our store for organic plants, and we're going to be having a number of different organic plants including about 5 different kinds of milkweed, including local to California milkweed, all organic, no pesticides. We're going to be having a sale right here at KCAA on March 24th. We're hoping to have a little mini event here as well to celebrate the monarchs, and hopefully some other fun things happening just right here at KCAA in our parking lot. And then we're going to be over at the Grow Farmers Market, and we'll be announcing some other locations that you'll be able to find Blue Monarch organic plants. And this is milkweed and nectar plants, and we've got succulents and cactus and hopefully some other things too. So we'll let you know as it happens. We don't want to get ahead of ourselves. We just get that accomplished. That's a big deal. So the problem is most of these nurseries are spraying neonicotinoids, which stay in the plant for months. And they're very, very toxic at even extremely small doses, way less than even what the government allows. Because I can't even think. What?
Is it Senna?
No, from the USDA. I'm trying to think of his name right now. Dr. Lundberg. I keep thinking.
Yes, the one that got.
The one who is a whistleblower. Yes. Yeah, he said that the research at his Blue Dasher farm this summer found it even half of what the government allows, 100% death. And the fact that it stays in the plant for months, that shows us we don't even know at what the dosage is that the dying stops. And he said that just one corn seed coated with that can kill 360,000 bees. So this stuff is so toxic. We don't want any bit of it in the plant, and we can't be buying this and expecting it's just going to go away.
And we keep upsetting the whole circle of life, and you get it out of balance in one way, and then you have to deal with it another way. If you just learn to use biodiversity, a lot of times you let nature take care of itself. We're going, talking to various schools and communities about using an organic IPM, integrated pest management system, for their turf and their landscape. And it's like, you can show that a healthy lawn kind of just outcompetes any weeds. You don't need to spray it with anything. You just mow it regularly, about 3 inches high, depending upon the type of turf, because we're also worried about water use. And keep it healthy and fertilize it regularly. A lot of times, also just the grass clippings, let them stay on the lawn. They decompose back into the lawn, so don't use a
That's
grass
really good
clipping
advice.
catcher.
And as long as you mow, the seeds don't form for the weeds.
Right, you keep the seed heads from forming, so you eventually won't have the seed problem, making more weeds. And even if there's a dandelion or two out there, that's, again, it's a standard issue too. It's like, what's wrong with a few weeds anyway?
And the dandelions the bees love them. I have a whole video of the bees all over those dandelions, and people eat
sometimes
them.
It's the white clover people have problems with, and white clover is actually a legume, and it actually helps take nitrogen out of the atmosphere and puts it into the soil, which is all a very good thing. It helps reduce greenhouse gases.
And what is that?
White clover that often you see out in schoolyards or playgrounds.
Oh, see, and we make it like it's an evil thing that we have to get rid of when actually it's
exactly.
a good thing.
People think they need this monoculture of grass.
We have been lied to. I tell you, I am mad.
More like a meadow.
We have been lied to that these things are bad, and they're forcing us to poison ourselves, and so just not using anything. And like you said, the balance comes back, and you end up with more beneficial insects and hardly any bad guys, because the good guys win in the end if we just give them a chance. Instead, we whack them out and take them out before they even get a chance to multiply, and take out the bad guys like they would do and have been doing for millions of years. They just found it was a spider that had a scorpion tail in amber, and they say it's 100 million years old. I mean, spiders have been around for 100 million years. So anyway, okay, well, we don't have very much time left, and I'm going to
I need to go. I am going to speak at a school board tonight about this is where
over in Hemet, everyone.
Yes.
In Hemet, join
us. We're installing a butterfly garden there, and we are encouraging the school boards to adopt an organic IPM for their schoolyards, because it's not fair to put in this butterfly garden and teach the kids about this and have the butterflies come and then they have all the poisons around them. Plus it's not
I totally agree, and that happened when I went in to help with the county library, the museum, because there's orange orchards that they're spraying with pesticide all around there, and I'm like, I can't even bring the monarchs over here until we deal with this pesticide problem. And that splash the splash waters, or that amusement park with all the
Yes.
that's right across the street. I tried calling them, and you're like, okay, what are you doing? You know that they're spraying pesticides over there. Of course, they don't want to talk about it, don't want to admit it. But we all have to start calling people out is what we have to do. And I want to encourage everyone that's listening to please call up your legislators. It only takes 5 minutes, and tell them that we're all behind no gold mine in Alaska, because that will put half of the world's safe fish supply at risk. And we hope it's still safe. We hear all this stuff about the radiation, but it's the safest that we have. And unfortunately, like all this Atlantic salmon, which is like farm salmon, maybe GMO, who knows, got out of the pen. They're always like this, it's safe, they'll never get out. It is such a lie. Don't trust any of these people. Okay, well, thanks a lot, Christine. Good luck at you. Go get them. We really appreciate you going down there and trying to convince the school board to keep our kids safe, because we can do this. We can all do this. We just work together. That's all it takes. And we need leaders, more leaders like Christine and Lisa.
Thank you.
Okay, you guys, take care.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye. Okay, everyone, that was Christine Lampe. And eat organic food, everyone. Grow your own. I mean, she's got like 5 apple trees, and I've been to her house. It's not that big of a yard, okay? It's amazing what you can do to create an edible yard, an edible landscape at your home. I mean, you don't even have to go to the grocery store practically. Just like, I think I'm hungry. I'll just go out in the backyard, munch an apple, munch a couple snow peas, which are really sweet and just so great for kids to eat. I mean, I want to get more into that as well, but I wanted to get to the food that I have here in front of me, and we've got lots of different things. Okay, I'm going to start with the sweet stuff right here. I have several different kinds of sugars, and what I'm trying to convince everyone, I'm a registered dietitian. I'm your host, Elaine McFadden, and I want to get you educated and be a smart shopper, okay? Now, I have here Trader Joe's. This is such a great bargain, as well as Costco. You can get bulk organic sugar there. But I'll tell you, I have Woodstock. I can tell you that's the distributor's brand, UNFI. Wholesome sweeteners. They're the ones that are probably filling the packages of all these other brands. One company is the main, Wholesome Sweeteners is the main sugar maker. There's another Florida Crystals or something like that. I can tell immediately from the sugar if it's Wholesome Sweetener sugar, because it's so perfect. It never cakes. It's just the most perfect sugar. And when you're getting like Trader Joe's, I could almost betcha that's Wholesome Sweetener, because they co-pack and they just put it in a package with their name on it. And that allows them to negotiate and get a cheaper price out of them so they can make more money. So organic powdered sugar, brown sugar, regular sugar, raw sugar. I mean, you have so many sweetener choices nowadays, but I'll tell you that stevia that you're getting in these other products, they're making you think, this was a plant and we extracted it and made this like natural sweetener. Stevia, the plant, is not approved by our FDA as a sweetener. The only thing that is approved is a glyphosate inside the stevia plant that makes it sweet. So what they do is, yes, they extract out of the plant, but then they process to get it down to this one glyphosate, which is a whole different thing than like eating stevia, the plant, organically. Okay, so that is a highly processed product. There's so many other choices. I could do a whole show just on sweeteners, so many different things. Okay, so I tell you, Trader Joe's, great bargain. Great bargain, okay? Or if you go to Costco, and just get your sugar in bulk. Try to eat less. Okay, this is the only all-natural product that I buy. Everything else is organic. And these are some mini vanilla marshmallows. Yummy, yummy. There's so many recipes I grew up with that just as a splurge every once in a while I will use them. So you can have that choice. Okay, enough of the sweeteners, now on to the soups. Soups I have so many different soups here. Soups are such a great diet food. They're a highly concentrated food. You can get a vegetarian soup. You can get some with a meat in it. Get some with beans in it. There's just like so many different choices. Bone broth. Here is a creamy tomato soup. Bone broth with lemongrass. Lemongrass is kind of a diuretic. It helps you get rid of the excess water weight. And so drinking bone broth gives you all kinds of glucosamine, chondroitin for your joints. It helps you make new blood cells, good for your bone marrow. And it's low in calories, but high in nutrition. And Pacific Foods, I love that. I love this company. They have so many great things. But here is a Trader Joe's organic tomato soup that I'm sure it's a very good bargain. And this is so low in calories. I mean, well, the whole thing is 400 calories. It's 100 calories because it's the creamy one. If it was just plain tomato soup. So if you want even lower calories, get plain. Don't get anything with cream in it. But I love to add like my raw milk. I will take a plain soup. I can cut fresh tomatoes into it. I can cut fresh onions into it. I could put some fresh basil in there. There's so many different ways. Parmesan cheese. That you can take a plain soup like this organic soup right here, and it's a fast food. I mean, you put it in the pan, you warm it up. Low in calories, satisfying. Put it with I have some saltine crackers over here, and these are Annie's crackers, but unfortunately, that's a General Mills company. They bought Annie's, and Annie's used to be all organic. It's not all organic anymore since General Mills got it. They now have Annie's products that are not organic. And they have some that have some organic products, some not. So they trick you into thinking it's an all organic product, but it's not. And that's what General Mills does. They trick people. They lie to people. Cascadian Farms. Okay, yeah, that, another General Mills product. But, it was on sale for $3. It's an organic Raisin Bran cereal. So, hey, maybe those times that's when you buy something from General Mills. But other times when you have a choice, you try not to buy General Mills. Okay, here's Nature's Past cereal. This also, you can buy this at Trader Joe's. Trader Joe's for it's something like $2.50, $3 for, here's Hemp Hearts granola, high in omega-3s. This is so friggin' good. I'm telling you, put this with some yogurt, and I have right here some Strauss vanilla yogurt, and I have to warn you, okay, I love Strauss vanilla yogurt, yummy, 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 but yeah, it's got sugar, so you got to think about that. The plain yogurt is always the best choice, and maybe add some your own sweetener type stuff, and hopefully you choose something maybe like natural based. Like from real fruit or something like that. Here I even have a chocolate syrup, Alaska. I love this brand. Organic chocolate syrup. It's non-dairy. All organic. You can have all of these things. It is not that much more expensive. Now, as far as money goes, I already told you about cereal and how $2.50, $3 for organic cereal. And I mean some of the best tasting. They have won awards as the #1 best granola. Nature's Path. And their oatmeal that I have right here too with the flax in it, which is more fiber, super delicious. I mean, that is a fast food. Why would you go to McDonald's to get oatmeal that's full of pesticides when you can just have a packet? You can take it to work. I'm on the go. Great choice. Okay, now here I have organic spaghetti. This is Field Day. This came from Gerard's. Here's a Natural Directions. I'm not sure what store that came from. But both of these are like store brand. This isn't some name brand that spends all kinds of money for advertising. It's a store brand. Way cheaper. When you're eating pasta, choose spaghetti over like a penne pasta. Penne pasta is thicker. There's way more carbs in that. Go for more sauce, less pasta. I have all kinds of tomato products here, from salsas to ketchup to spaghetti sauce. All of these are organic. Muir Glen, another General Mills product. Unfortunately, try not to buy Muir Glen if you can't. do it. But here I have like these Fill Day. Again, just a store brand salsa. And tomatoes have some of the worst pesticides of all. Many times people think, oh, Brianna's, oh, that's a really good one. It's full of GMOs, everyone, okay? Here's Drew's. This is a true organic. All right, don't be fooled on thinking some of these things are organic. I have an organic and Wolfgang Puck. Again, that is owned by a big corporation. Do you really want to buy that? Amy's. Now, I love Amy's, but sometimes you find Amy's in Target and only a few ingredients are organic because that's what Target does. They want a cheaper price. They want more profit margin. So they make Amy's compromise themselves so they can have a product that looks organic and trick you into thinking it's all organic, and it's not. I've got some wonderful Pacific turkey gravy here. I use this turkey gravy in my stews and make my broth and turn it into a really hearty kind of food. I have Birch Benders over here, all different kinds of pancake mixes from gluten-free, high protein, you name it. Think about buying bulk. I have beans, rice over here. I go to the bulk bins. You get such a cheaper price. I have some instant rice mixes here, some bowls, rice bowls. You can add vegetables to them. You could add a can of tuna fish. These can be fast foods, everyone. Make sure it's organic. I have a sauce here. It's a teriyaki sauce somewhere. That is organic. That will be GMO anytime you're buying it anywhere else. Buy in bulk from Amazon. Here's a coconut water. Got a whole case of it on Amazon. So, you know, shop around. Number one, go to the farmer's market. Get fresh organic food. Eat lots of vegetables, everyone. And tune in to Smart Health Talk every Tuesday. Find our podcast on our iHeartRadio or at KCAA Radio. And please subscribe to us on YouTube and all our other social media. We love it when you come and find us and join us, all right? And go to BlueMonarchProject.com and donate if you can and get involved. Buy some plants from us. Check it out. Thanks a lot for listening. This is Elaine McFadden, your host, saying buy organic, support organic farmers. Thanks, bye.
On the wild side, will the birds and the bees survive?
KCAA Loma Linda, 1050 AM, 106.5 FM, and now 102.3 FM.
Experts agree one of the worst things a long-term investor can do is follow the daily gyrations of the markets. In the first hour alone of trading Tuesday, the Dow was down by more than 500 points and up by more than 300. But when it's all the news, it's hard not to at least worry.
It's not just something that affects you right now, but I mean, this is when you're trying to put money aside for retirement.
I'm not overly concerned about it.
I'm going to head to the gym, and then I'll take a look next week and see how it goes.
Right now, experts say the economy is doing well. 200,000 jobs were added last month. Unemployment is at a 17-year low, and hourly wages are up nearly 3%. But some on Wall Street worry that to keep inflation in check,